The Kingdom of Ikana. Of all of the places in The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask that know death and despair, Kingdom of Ikana ranks among the highest. Once a proud patriarch with an army that could raise the entirety of Termina, over the years reduced to nothing but rubble. Today, we will be taking a look at one of the lesser-known Easter eggs in The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. A single paper airplane left atop one of the pillars in the Kingdom of Ikana. Not much is really known about this paper airplane, and in fact, it seems relatively unspectacular until you really start to think about it. How did it make it up there? Must have been thrown by somebody, but who? Really, the only people who would make sense who would do such a thing in the area at the time would be Pamela or her father. However, there's really no way that they would be getting into the castle. No, my friends, I believe this paper airplane has been here for tens, maybe even hundreds of years. But that leads us to who threw it. It is very difficult to actually pin down who could have thrown this paper airplane. And honestly, there aren't any concrete answers. Given that we fight the king of the Kingdom of Ikana and his two lackeys, it can be assumed that this is a patriarch that we are working with. One of the main purposes of a patriarch is to leave an offspring. This would mean that at some point, the Hijos de Ikana, probably saying that incorrectly, but at some point, he must have had a son, which unfortunately is nowhere to be seen. There are multiple things that could have happened to this child, but I have no doubt in my mind that the child existed at some point. Given that the Kingdom of Ikana was at war with the Garo ninjas, some of them still haunt the halls of the castle. It's very possible that one of them may have taken the prince's life. Killing the prince in this instance would basically put a timer on how long the war would last. Without a king, without an heir, no one would rule the throne once they finally got their mark on the king. Now, of course, most of this is speculation, but it would make sense the king would have a son. And honestly, with a war going on, and now that the Ikana Kingdom is known as the Land of the Dead, a quick assassination would have been the easy way out for the boy. My mind can only wonder exactly how long the prince had lasted. Perhaps that is why we have this paper airplane out here. Given the angle, we can roughly tell that it was probably thrown from the balcony or the top of the castle. Given the trajectory, it's very likely that it was going towards Termina, perhaps to ask for some help. Regardless of whether it was the prince that threw the paper airplane or not, you gotta know, they must have been on some hard times. As the child were to throw the paper airplane, only hope would guide it. Only a child would be foolish enough to think that maybe, just maybe, winds will guide this paper airplane down to Termina. Some sort of reinforcements will arrive. I can only imagine whoever threw the plane must have seen it land on that pillar and just known there's no help. The war is lost. The land is gone. When even the gods and Mother Nature are not willing to help you, what hope do you have? Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. It does help me out an awful lot. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about this paper airplane in the comments down below. I'm interested to see your thoughts. Personally, I think that it almost has to have been a prince or a small child that threw this airplane because, I mean, who else would throw a paper airplane? Anyway, I'm Newbornkilik, and I will see you in the next one. I'm out.